Hey there, it's Sarah, and my life has been extra busy lately. Between added school activities and kids being sick, it's been even harder to find time to exercise, which is exactly why I've created this series of short workouts. Because I know everybody's life is busy, and if we can just squeeze in 12 minutes of quality exercise, we can stay on that path towards being stronger and fitter. So today I'm going to bring you 12 minutes of a barre-inspired workout. If you need help with your balance at any point, it might be smart to be near a table or a countertop or just close to a wall, somewhere where you can gently hold on to, because we'll do a lot of work on one leg. And I don't have any shoes on. You don't need to wear your shoes if you don't want to. If you feel more stable in shoes, feel free to put them on. If you prefer bare feet over socks, that's your choice as well. You just want to have a little bit of space. We will step from side to side a little bit, and we're going to be extending legs forward, to the side, and to the back. So make sure you've just got a little bit of room. Water nearby if you need it. Something to gently rest a hand on if you start to feel a little bouncy. And let's just get started by turning our toes out. Bring your heels together. We're going to work in 30 seconds for 4 exercises. So we've got 4 exercises. We'll do 30 seconds each. We'll take a 30-second rest, and then we'll do 5 rounds like that of different exercises. So, heels together, toes out, and then we're just going to tuck our tailbone under, give those glutes a little squeeze, because we're going to work these glutes and hips for the next 12 minutes. I also want you to keep your core engaged and give yourself a nice core workout for the next 12 minutes. So pull that belly button in tight, like somebody's about to throw a ball at you or punch you in the gut, and you got to brace for that impact. Hold that belly button in tight towards the spine, and just keep that feeling as you work. Keep those ribs pulled in as you work. Keep that tailbone tucked under and those glutes engaged. I'll remind you throughout the next 12 minutes to hold that posture. So bring your heels together, toes out. Bring your hands to your hips. I'm going to push play, and we're just going to bend our knees. So hands are on hips, shoulders are back and down, and we're just bending knees right out over those middle toes, keeping that tailbone tucked under. So we're not sticking it out. We're keeping it under, glutes working just a little bit harder. And we're going to hold this tall posture with those shoulder blades pulling down towards the back ribs. In 8 seconds, we're going to bend the knees a little bit deeper. Right now we're in a demi-plie. The heels are staying down. When the bell rings, we're going to lift those heels at the bottom of your knee bend and press them down, straighten the legs, then come to a releve and lift the heels at the top. So we're going to bend the knees, lift the heels at the bottom, straighten the legs, lift the heels at the top. As you lift the heels, try pressing into those big toes, keeping those ankles strong, keeping those glutes engaged. If you don't want to take it to a grand plie and stay demi, we're going to step wide though into a second position and just bend the knees and pulse. So now our heels are outside our shoulders. Our tailbone is still tucked under. We're feeling those glutes. Our knees are pressing out. We're feeling those inner thighs and those outer hips. Chest is still up. Shoulders are still back and down. Toes are still turned out. And just drop a little bit lower and really warm those legs. At the bell, we're going to step in, releve, or heel lift. And we're going to step out, grand plie. So we're going to step in, lift the heels, step out, bend the knees. And if you want to move a little bit faster, just make it one fluid movement. Step out, bend, step in, lift. Or slow it down. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're pressing knees out as you step. And as you lift the heels, push those big toes down. Get ready for your first break. Shake it out. Loosen up those legs. Maybe step back for a little calf stretch, because we're going to move to standing work on one leg, which means that standing leg is going to be really engaged from hip all the way down to those calf muscles. Back to that first position, heels together, toes comfortably turned out, tailbone tucked under, shoulders back and down. Pick a toe, a leg, and just point forward and then slide back in. We're going to try to keep this pelvis steady as we point and slide back. So if it helps to take a slight bend in that standing leg, you can keep that knee soft. But try to keep this moving leg really straight and engaged. And we're just pointing big toe forward and then pulling heel back in. And that hip is still open, so we're feeling that inner thigh and we're feeling that outer hip. Glute is engaged. Let's add a leg lift and then tap down and slide back in. So point forward, lift up, tap down, slide in. If you want to make this a little bit easier, you can add some momentum and take that little pause out and just lift and come back. Maybe it's a little lift. Maybe you just want to tendu forward and back and you don't want any lift. The most challenging is point, lift, point, and back. It forces those legs to engage just a little bit more to lift that leg up. Try it to the side. Point, lift, point, and back down. If you're starting to feel a little bouncy, gently hold on to something. You still want the core and the leg muscles holding you up, but we don't want you to fall over. So hold on to something if you need to. Maybe take that leg lift down a little bit. Maybe keep some momentum. In 5 seconds, we're going to take these leg lifts forward and back. If your hips are really tired and you don't want to lift off the floor, you can just point forward and point back. Try to keep those hips square. Try to keep that core tight and really engage the glute. Even if you're not lifting off the floor, squeeze the glute. Only about 10 more seconds. That standing leg should be feeling the work. That hip is saying, hello, I'm getting stronger today. Maybe the calf is saying the same thing. Shake it out. Let's stretch that standing leg and breathe. And then maybe stretch the other leg because now it knows what's coming. It's going to become your standing leg in that first position. Tailbone is tucked under, so pull it in, squeeze those glutes. Find that core. Something's coming right at you. Oh, hold it in. Shoulders back and down. Now that opposite foot points forward, pulls in. Little bend in the standing leg if you need it. And it's just the tendu. The toes staying down. Core is on. Shoulders are down and back. Hips are staying square. 8 more seconds. So we want to really engage this leg that's moving. Pull that kneecap up and squeeze the thigh muscle. Now lift off the floor and pull back in. If you need that added momentum, take the little pause out and lift and come back. Maybe it's a little lift. Maybe you like that pause and that added work. I like it. Maybe you don't like the lift at all and you're just going to tendu and keep those toes down. That's okay too. Find that core, keep it on. Find that standing leg. Keep it active. Squeeze the glute. Get ready to go to the side. Leg lift if you want it. Hold on to something if you need help with that balance. Try to keep those hips square. And if you need to take that little pause out, you like that momentum, maybe it's a little lift, maybe we're just tenduing to the side, maybe there's no lift. Up to you for the next 8 seconds. Then we're going to take this leg forward and back. And again, up to you. If you lift the leg off the floor, if you pause between, you don't have to lift the leg off the floor. You can just point those toes and then slide back in. You choose. Maybe it's one fluid motion, lift. Maybe there's that little pause to force those muscles to engage just a little bit more because they get no help from that momentum. Almost there. And guess what? After this break, we've only got 2 more minutes. What's a ballet without a curtsy, right? You got to finish the show with a little curtsy. So we're going to curtsy lunge and fire up that hip and glute as if it's not already. So pick a leg that's going to be your standing leg. This back leg is going to step back. It's also going to come up. So if you need something to hold on to, please have something nearby. Hands on hips or out to the side. Step 1 foot back. Bend that standing leg right over the middle toes. Then just step that foot back up under the hip. Back and in. So the standing leg is going to bend and straighten. Knee pressing out, Try to keep the chest up, but find a little side bend. Let's activate those obliques. Your toes are still turned out just a little bit. We're gonna fire up that inner thigh as well as that outer hip. And you're gonna really feel the glute. We're gonna add a knee lift. So that back knee is gonna come up. You can bring it up in front, or you can keep that hip open and bring it to the side. You choose. If you need a little tap in between to find your balance before you lift it up, tap it down. If you're good with that balance, make it one fluid bend, lift, bend, lift. And then get ready to add on. We're gonna really feel this standing leg. Lift the knee, now extend it out and circle it back to that curtsy lunge. Lift the knee, maybe tap the toes and circle back from there. Or keep the toes off the floor. Challenge the balance. Challenge that standing leg. Add that little side bend in your curtsy. And work those obliques. Get the most bang for your buck. Well, your free workout. Shake it out. I lied. Curtsy pulse, don't shake it out. Pulse. It's a free workout. You get what you pay for. Press that knee over the middle toes. And keep most of the weight on this front leg. So we're really firing up this hip and glute. We almost cheated it. We're not going to cheat it. Drop a little bit lower. Pull those shoulders back. Fight through that burn. Enjoy that little fire you're feeling. You're almost done with this side. Now you may shake it out. But we have a whole other leg. And we're going to start with that simple curtsy lunge. Take a stretch. Take a sip of water if you need it. Catch your breath. You got about 15 more seconds. And then we're going to go. You're almost done with this workout. Did I tell you you had 2 minutes before? Now you have 2 minutes. Get ready. Step back. Whew. Bend this standing leg right over those middle toes. Bring that back leg back under the hip. Keep your chest up. See how square you can keep your hips as you step back. And then maybe that little side bend. Fire up those obliques. Why not? Keep all the weight on this standing leg. We want to feel all the work on this hip and glute. Get ready to add even more work by adding that knee lift. Maybe to the front, maybe to the side. Maybe that side bend in the curtsy. Maybe tapping down to find balance before you lift and before you curtsy lunge. Do what works best for you. If you're feeling balancy, you've got one hand gently resting somewhere to help you stay upright. We're going to add that rond de jambe, that circle around. So get ready to add that leg extension and then circle back, curtsy lunge. And you can take toes to the floor if that helps you with your balance. Or challenge that balance. See how high you can take the toes up off the floor as you circle back. And then 30 more seconds. We're not going to forget the pulse on this side. Get ready. We're going to hold our curtsy lunge and pulse. Try to square the hips. Push that front knee out over the middle toes. Keep that back leg light. And breathe. Fight through that burn. It feels good. We're feeling it right down the thigh, that outer hip, into that inner thigh. And we can feel ourselves getting stronger. We can feel ourselves toning these legs. You're almost done. In 3 seconds. You get to take as long of a stretch as you need because activity is completed. So please stretch out those legs, keeping them long and lean. If you've got 12 more minutes, then try another workout. Or do this one again. Maybe your legs want to really feel the fire today. Do what works for you. Thanks again for joining me on your busiest days for 12 minutes of quality exercise. You can like this video, subscribe. I do my best to add things here and there in the community post, but as I said, I'm a little busy sometimes, as we all are. So get back to your day, and I'll see you next time.